Wake up, Hulk. Wake up now. Hulk didn't come here to pat your bald head as an excuse. Hulk came to rip off that mental diaper you call a routine. You say you don't have time. 15 minutes. You have 15 minutes to scroll through your feed, watching videos of other guys training while you chew bread like a depressed panda. The problem isn't time. The problem is that you've become an expert at avoiding the mirror. You want a better physique, but you live like you're on perpetual maternity leave. You sleep poorly, eat junk food, don't exercise, and still expect a miracle. Hulk looks at you and sees a body that's become a parking lot of fat and a mind that has outsourced responsibility. Ah, Hulk, but I work a lot. You work a lot sitting down, right, champ? Crooked spine, drooping shoulders, posture like a boiled shrimp. Your body has already understood. You've given up on leading. And this is where the real problem begins. It's not aesthetics, it's biology. Fat isn't just dead weight, my little friend. Fat is a clandestine estrogen factory. That's right. The more fat you carry, the more you teach your body to produce the wrong hormone. While you think you're just a little overweight, your body is secretly sabotaging your testosterone, laughing in your face. Testosterone is the fuel of your masculinity. Energy, focus, strength, discipline, the will to act. When it drops, you become that tired being who needs 3 coffees to function and even then procrastinates. And you know who helps destroy all that? Cortisol, the stress hormone. Every sleepless night, every day without movement, every junk food meal is an invitation for cortisol to sit on the couch of your mind and take over your life. Now pay attention, because Hulk is going to simplify things so he has no excuse. His body functions like a company. Testosterone is the CEO who solves, decides, and acts. Cortisol is the panicked employee who presses all the buttons at once. When panic takes over, the company collapses. And today, Hulk, your company is in bankruptcy protection. You don't need a fancy gym. You don't need magic supplements. You don't need an elaborate plan. You need a system. And that's exactly what this 4-week challenge will force into your routine. 15 minutes every day. No crying, no drama, no sad stories. But before talking about the challenge, Hulk needs to dispel another misconception. You think short workouts don't work. That's the mentality of a sophisticated, lazy person. 15 minutes of focused exercise are more aggressive on your body than an hour spent strolling through the mall. The body responds to stimulus, not duration. Right intensity, right frequency, consistency. That's science, not Instagram motivation. Your body was made to move. When you don't move, it understands that you are sick or injured, and a sick body conserves energy. Conserving energy means less muscle, less testosterone, more fat. It's a cycle, an ugly cycle, and you're running in it like a tired hamster. This challenge exists to break that cycle. In 4 weeks, you'll teach your body that you're back in control, that daily effort is possible, that there's such a thing as good stress. The stress of training, which lowers cortisol afterward and raises testosterone. Hulk isn't promising a magazine cover body. Hulk is promising something better, identity. Because when you dedicate 15 minutes every day, you're not just training your muscles, you're training self-respect. You're sending a message to your brain, I do what needs to be done, even when I don't feel like it. And that changes everything. Posture changes. Energy changes. How you speak changes. How you see yourself changes. So get this into your thick skull, little Hulk. This challenge isn't about time. It's about decision. Either you remain the guy who always starts on Monday, or you become the guy who executes today, even tired, even unmotivated, even without applause. In the next chapter, Hulk will break down the challenge into clear and simple pillars. No frills, no useless theory. Just what works in the real world for busy men who want real results. Now breathe, swallow your pride, and decide if you're going to continue being a spectator or if you're going to get in the game. Listen up, little Hulk. Hulk already rubbed his face in reality in the previous chapter. Now it's time to give you the structure, Because a man without structure becomes chaos, and chaos doesn't build physique, it only builds pretty excuses. This 4-week challenge isn't a mess. It's simple, direct, and brutally efficient. It's 4 pillars repeated every day in just 15 minutes, no negotiation, no Nutella-style adaptation. First pillar, brutal and composed movement. Hulk doesn't want you doing TikTok workouts looking like a flamingo with cramps. The human body responds better to large movements. Squatting, pushing, pulling. These movements wake up the nervous system, activate more muscle mass, and send a clear signal to the body. We are alive and we need strength. This increases the release of testosterone and GH. Simple science. More muscle recruited, more hormone released. Simple metaphor. It's different pressing a button or turning on an entire generator. In your 15 minutes, you'll use your body as a tool. Push-ups, squats, improvised rows, planks. It doesn't matter where. What matters is that it's intense. Few pauses. Heavy breathing. If you can still talk calmly at the end, you trained wrong, Hulk. Hulk wants you breathless, not comfortable. Second pillar, high intensity, short time. Here lies the secret your chicken cousin never understood. The body doesn't measure effort in minutes, it measures stress. Good stress in this case. Short, intense workouts increase catecholamines, reduce fat, and, after the workout, lower cortisol. This is the opposite of that endless cardio that leaves you deflated like an old balloon. Hulk wants impact, not a stroll. Think of it this way. You can boil water quickly over high heat or keep heating the pot all afternoon. The hormonal effect comes from the controlled shock. 15 minutes like that are worth more than a dragged-out hour. And more importantly, you can maintain this every day. Consistency beats enthusiasm. Third pillar, daily frequency without drama. This is where 90% of little Hulks fail. They want to do everything perfectly 3 times a week and then disappear. Hulk wants the opposite. A little bit every day. Daily movement teaches the brain that effort is normal. This changes the chemistry of motivation. Dopamine stops coming only from easy pleasure and starts coming from accomplishment. When you move every day, your body stops sabotaging you. Joints warm up faster. Energy increases. Laziness decreases. Not because you've become a monk, but because the system has adapted. A clear metaphor. A stationary engine rusts. An engine that's running every day responds better. Fourth pillar, short and cruel metabolic end. The final minutes of a workout serve to signal to the fat that it's no longer welcome. This could be burpees, running in place, mountain climbers, or jumping jacks. Short duration, maximum intensity. This creates an energy deficit, increases insulin sensitivity, and improves the use of fat as fuel. In simpler terms, your body learns to burn stored fat, not to hoard it. And now, Hulk is going to give you a slap of reality that hurts. None of these pillars work if you turn into a zombie afterward. Training doesn't compensate for a bad night's sleep and junk food. But don't get fancy either. Hulk isn't telling you to become a fitness chef. Just stop eating like an abandoned teenager. Enough protein, real food, water. Simple. No gourmet discipline. This challenge works because it respects male psychology. Short, clear, daily, and measurable. You know exactly what to do. It doesn't depend on motivation. It depends on decision. 15 minutes don't ask for permission. They demand commitment. And in 4 weeks, something changes. Not just in the mirror, in your head. You start to trust yourself. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of routine and start seeing yourself as someone who performs despite it. That's practical masculinity. It's not pretty talk. It's repeated habit. In the next chapter, Hulk will show you how these 4 weeks transform not only your physique, but also your posture, energy, and identity. And he'll make it clear why those who quit halfway through remain the same old Hulk. Now decide, are you going to treat 15 minutes as something insignificant, or are you going to realize that what's truly insignificant is continuing the way you are? Listen up, Hulk. Because this is where the tables turn. Up until now, Hulk has shown you the problem and the structure. Now is the moment when your body starts to pay the price, or reap the reward. Because the human body is honest. It responds exactly to what you do every day. Not to what you promise, not to what you post, to what you execute. In the first week of the challenge, you'll feel like nothing is changing. And that's when the weak give up. Your body is still suspicious. It looks at you and thinks, this idiot has tried this before. Hormones are still out of whack. Cortisol is still high. Metabolism is still sluggish. You feel tired, mentally resistant, and want to skip the workout. This isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign of initial adaptation. It's your body shedding its comfort zone. In the second week, something starts to unlock. The nervous system wakes up. Coordination improves. You wake up with a little more energy. That mental weight decreases. This happens because daily movement improves sensitivity to dopamine. In other words, your brain starts to enjoy accomplishing difficult tasks. You stop needing external stimulation all the time. Less anxiety, less craving for junk food, less desire to give up on everything. And here's a point Hulk needs to rub in your face. Discipline isn't willpower. Discipline is chemical adaptation. When you train every day, even a little, your brain recalibrates what's normal. Being still starts to bother you. Moving becomes the norm. That's not motivation, it's biology. In the third week, the body begins to change visually. It's not a miracle, it's logic. More muscle stimulation, less chronic cortisol, better glucose utilization. The muscle becomes denser, posture opens up, the abdomen begins to deflate. And no, it's not because you became a bodybuilder in 15 minutes. It's because you stopped sabotaging your hormonal system. Testosterone doesn't just rise out of nowhere, little guy. It rises when your body understands that you need it. Intense, short, and frequent physical exertion sends that message. Sleeping better helps. Eating less junk food helps. But the trigger is consistent movement. Your body starts investing in you because you've started investing in it again. In the fourth week, something more dangerous than muscle gain happens. Identity. You start to see yourself differently, not as the guy trying, but as the guy who does. This changes your posture, your tone of voice, your patience with nonsense. You stop over-explaining yourself. You stop asking for permission. Because every day you prove to yourself that you do what needs to be done. And here Hulk will give the warning that separates a man from a boy. It's exactly at this stage that the ego tries to sabotage. I've improved, I can relax. You can't. Relaxing is the way back to rock bottom. The body doesn't retain its shape. It responds to current habits. Stop stimulating it, and it falls apart. Simple as that. This challenge isn't about 4 weeks. The 4 weeks are just the initial shock. They serve to get you out of your inertia, to prove that 15 minutes are enough to change everything. After that, you decide whether you continue to evolve or become a before and after statistic that didn't last long. Hulk doesn't respect intensity without consistency. A strong man isn't the one who works himself to death for a week. It's the one who shows up every day, even tired, even busy, even without an audience, because he understood that discipline is a contract with himself. And what if you fail one day? Hulk won't crucify you, but he won't let it slide either. You mess up, you come back the next day, no drama, no sad narrative, just execution, because those who punish themselves become victims, and Hulk doesn't train victims. In the next and final chapter, Hulk will close this challenge the right way. He will transform this effort into a mission. He will show you how to break free from this cycle as a respectable, ripped Hulk, not just physically, but in your attitude towards life. Now look at yourself, not in the mirror, at your routine, and answer honestly. Are you going to continue being the guy who starts, or are you going to be the guy who continues? Now listen carefully, Hulk, because this is the most dangerous moment of all. It's not when you're weak. It's when you improve a little and think you've already won. Hulk has seen this 1,000 times. The guy gains energy, loses some fat, feels better, and relaxes. Then the body, that opportunistic traitor, understands that the command has ended and everything goes back to the old place. Fat returns. Laziness returns. Testosterone disappears again like a fake friend. Therefore, Hulk will be clear. This 4-week challenge is not an end. It's an initiation ritual. This proves that you can do the basics every day without complaining. 15 minutes isn't the limit of your potential. It's the filter. Anyone who can't maintain 15 minutes doesn't deserve bigger plans. Simple, cruel, true. You didn't become the Hulk by training for 15 minutes. You became the Hulk because you stopped negotiating with your weakness. Every day, you got up even without the will to. You killed a little piece of the old you, the one who always had an excuse ready, the one who blamed routine, work, tiredness, fate. That guy died suffocated by daily execution. And here's the big change nobody tells you. When you keep your promises to yourself, the world treats you differently. Not by magic, by behavior. You speak differently, you walk differently, you decide faster, you tolerate less negativity. And this comes from training, yes, but mainly from the identity that training has built. Hulk wants you to understand one fundamental thing. Masculinity isn't about aesthetics. Aesthetics are a consequence. Masculinity is about responsibility. It's about waking up and doing what needs to be done, even when nobody's watching, even when you don't feel like it, even when the results haven't appeared yet. That creates self-respect, and self-respect changes everything. Now let's make one thing clear, so there's no confusion. You don't need to train anymore. You need continue. You can vary your exercise, adjust the intensity, and progress. But you can never go back to being the sedentary person. A sedentary body gets sick. A sedentary mind invents problems. A stagnant routine creates anxiety. Daily movement is mental and physical hygiene. If one day you only have 5 minutes, do 5. If you have 10, do 10, but never do 0. 0 is the territory of the old you. And Hulk doesn't accept the return of a discarded character. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about not breaking the chain. And now Hulk is going to give you the final real blow. Nobody will save you. No videos, no supplements, no trainer, no guru. All of those are tools. The decision has always been yours. It always will be. Either you take control of your body or someone or something takes it for you. Junk food, cheap dopamine, excessive comfort. The world loves weak men. Weak men consume more and question less. This challenge was a warning, a call, a provocation. You can ignore it and go back to autopilot, or you can assume there's a new pattern now. A pattern where you don't argue with training, you execute. Where you don't wait for motivation, you create routine. Where you don't ask permission to be strong. Hulk doesn't promise ease, Hulk promises truth. The path is simple, but it's not easy. And that's exactly why it works, because the simple, repeated, builds the extraordinary. 15 minutes a day doesn't seem like much, until you look back and realize you've become someone you weren't before. So engrave this in your thick skull, little Hulk, like a war mantra. Do the basics every day and the world will have to adapt to you. Now turn off that video. Get up, move, do your job. Because Hulk doesn't respect those who only watch. Hulk respects those who execute. And from today onwards, you're no longer a Huck trying to be your own person. You are a Hulk in the making.